Well, it's a Monday, and I should be out here long before that was up that high. I figured the gun would have been in about 4 o'clock, maybe a little earlier. I was going to be out here no later than 5. But Becky does that Skype thing with Murphy Law and his mom, and then it was warm in the house last night. So yeah, it was after midnight before I got to sleep. Well, and I'd have been up here a little sooner, but I did make it down and get the pump shut off and made it almost back to the bridge, and number 2 called. I was going to climb over this gate, but that's too wet to climb over. Number 2 calls, and she says, guess what? I'm on Highway 26 near Brookwood. Traffic's not moving at all. Well, she's been driving the Tahoe. You know, that thing that had the heat issues. Don't tell the cows I did that. Because now I can climb through the wires instead of having to climb over the gate. I mean, as long as it's moving, it's fine. Engine revved up and vehicle actually moving. But when you get in situations like that, or like if she's at a drive-up window for too long, it starts to overheat, and you got to rev it. So people give her weird looks because, I mean, you got to rev it. It's got to be 1800 RPMs anyway before it'll start to cool down. Yeah, so she's in traffic. I looked up on Pulse Point to see why, because she doesn't know why. 3 lanes that are hardly freaking moving. In 10 minutes, she says she hardly moved at all. That's because there was a wreck. Let's see, hour and a half ago. According to Pulse Point, the fire department's no longer on it. But you know how that works. So she's having a wonderful Monday. And she's trying to get to where she can bail off on the first, more or less, back road. Get off the frickin' U.S. highway and get onto a state highway or county road. By the way, that's not from the sprinkler. That's due. Because, well, could be a little spray from the sprinkler. It's set on this side to only come out about the middle of the screen in there. You can kind of see, maybe. Oh well. Oh yeah, while I'm on the subject of it's a Monday, number 1 informed me last night that she has to help Maury. Oh, I forgot to hook that yesterday, apparently. At least it's under it, right? Apparently, she has to help Maury move equipment in Portland today. Yeah, at least she was here to run the tedder rake yesterday. That was going to be Friday or Saturday, so we could bail yesterday, but, you know, just one more thing to make my morning wonderful. A little different angle. We got over most of this down here once with the irrigation. Mainly there's out of the creek right there. It's finally starting to turn green today. Well, I thought I noticed a little tint to it yesterday, but it's turning green finally. The only part that hasn't really gotten it is this little horseshoe piece right here, because the creek goes around it there. And you see the stump over there. The creek loops around and goes back there. The other side of the creek over there just got what the gun had reached. So there's probably like 2 or 3 acres in there that never got hit. That's the fun part about having a creek that snakes through. There's nowhere to run stuff like that. We used to hand line, we just crossed the creek, big deal. Cross the creek, go back out 3 or 4 times while you're trying to turn the water on and reconnect the lines, because as soon as it sinks down through the creek, it pops half the connection. But, you know, we used to get it done. And we ran the soft hose from here across before, because you can take the unit itself that the gun's on and the reel is on and go to their side, then you pull the hose across the creek. It worked. Pain in the butt though. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. And there's that bright spot from down here. See, it's still behind the trees. I'll have to stay down here. And look where they're all hiding already. And the other group went in the barn for grain this morning and they haven't come back out. I have no idea what the temperature is, but it's not cool and it's sticky. So anyway, we could see they were up here from way down below. And look, say hi, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
So just got the little traveler going. Called about a belt for it. The lady I usually deal with down there, she's apparently not been doing well, so she's taking leave of absence. Hopefully she gets things figured out and gets okay. I don't know what's wrong with her. I mean, last time I talked to her was quite a while ago, and she had something going on. They didn't know what at the time, so that's been a while ago. Which is too bad, because if you want to know anything about any irrigation parts, she is a walking encyclopedia. And if she doesn't know it, she knows where to find it. So anyway, we just got the little traveler going. Came up to check on the big one and see how these girls were doing. And obviously they're enjoying themselves. Down prematurely, it's not all the way in yet. I started this, got a phone call. It's actually moved in like a foot and a half since I got the phone call. It's almost there. Had to order a belt for this one. And Bauer being an Austrian company, you know, guy at the irrigation store, he ended up on the phone with the people in Austria, and then he found out, look at that, it's in far enough that the belt don't want to run it anymore. So I guess that's in far enough. It's gonna have to be, yeah, it's in. Turns out that the irrigation outfit actually has 3 of those belts coming for another customer. They're on a ship someplace. Nobody knows where. You know how that is lately. So there's more than just those 3 on that ship. So now there's another one on that ship that's going to be ours. You like what that leak does? I'm kind of liking it because it's all running into gopher holes. I'm hoping the gophers are running out of room for drinking all that water. That'd be nice. So anyway, tried to get a hose from them. Excuse me. They don't have 2.5 inch. They got 1.5 inch, 2, and they got 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And no 2.5. So gave me a number of an outfit in Tualatin and called them, and they says, yep, we got it. So hopefully tomorrow I can make it over there and get it. In the meantime, the little gun's done running for the night. Just like that, it's off. And hopefully tomorrow I'll get some hose. Then it'll shoot a little better too, because it'll have pressure actually getting to the gun. Oh, and I was going to show you this. I saw it when I was up above. I didn't see the cows over there eating on the hay, but behind this tree and the edge of the other trees, there's a bunch laying up there. So they're all that group's all kind of hiding in the shade now, and the other group is all out in the open. But I can't see them from here. Yeah, maybe we can do this. Reverse. Can't see them through there now either. They went up on the flat. They might be up in the shade by now. I don't know. But it's a day, and I got a bearing lock collar from Tom today. Spent a little too much time machining it this afternoon, but it's pretty much ready to go on that mower to be able to clamp a shield to. So that's what I'm going to go back up and try to take care of tonight. At least it's in the shade up there now. And hopefully I'll get it done and show you what I did. Okay, this is all Piper Doug's fault. He said something about using some hose and doing it that way, which yeah, I've done that too on certain things, but on this, needs something a little more substantial than a hose. Didn't have any metal pipe, so PVC will work. One nice thing about PVC, the other piece will right inside it, and if something's not perfect, it's not going to gall up and tear things up. This was, it's kind of warm. Well, that piece is, the bottom isn't. This was, well, you can see, there's where the set screw went. Just a bearing clamp for on a shaft. I had to turn it down a little bit, had to bore it out. Ouch, this is cooler. I started with a parting tool, and it's like, you know, I'm going to be all day with it, and it wasn't cutting the best, so I got a good groove and then just took the cut off to it. Wasted a couple wheels because that's actually a hell of a lot of material to be cutting. But that'll be good for something, a spacer or whatever at some point. I just finished chamfering the top side of that because it's got to go up against the gearbox, and the piece of pipe, tubing, whatever you want to call it, that's welded on the bottom for a shield that this is going over, about right where my fingernail is where it's welded to the bottom of the gearbox, and the gearbox gets a little wider, so I'm hoping I got enough chamfer on that. I know I'm deep enough with it, I just don't know if it's wide enough. When that cools off enough that I can actually hold it with my bare hands, I'll see if it fits like I want it to. There it is in place. I don't know how good my welds are because I can't see either one. I think that one's pretty good. It had a goober run down, so I'd do a little grinding on it. And said goober, got a little notch for it right there. So when it's all together, that should ride about like that. And it's not too tight, not too loose. And that'll go, point you the right direction. That'll be up there just like that. And the collar is just high enough that this bottoms out. This part here bottoms out against this. Hey, there, against this, before this shield touches here. Hey, right there. Look, if I point you the right direction, you can see. So that's the plan. It's dinner time. I don't know if I'm going to put it together tonight or not, because without dropping the cutter bar bolts, this thing's a real bitch to get that drive line back in. And it goes inside that cage, and then it all bolts down on top of the turtle. So that may be a morning project with a little help if I have help tomorrow. Otherwise, I do it by myself, you know. Oh, and something else I did. That piece of angle iron. I don't know how many times I've hit myself on the head and everything else working on this thing. Oh, why the hell they didn't dove it off. I mean, they doved it off back there, but not this one that you're going to hit. Dumbasses. That's kind of like the bolts for that pad right there. Why do we have one that's the right length and one that's way too long? Oh, wait, I know. Because they didn't use lock nuts on them. And the original one that was here took a flying leap, God knows where. And that one happened to be in the toolbox. I believe it was the same thing with this end too. It's like, really? So anyway, that's my day. Thank you for watching. And I'll leave you with a parting shot of those cows I couldn't see from down below earlier.